And we are live for Cone Racing League Tier 1 with your host Liam Carrig, with the man, the myth, the legend, Jamie Indigo. He's currently elsewhere at the moment, but he'll be back. I'm gonna take lead for a bit because, again, Indigo is updating his game. And I'm glad to be back in Tier 1. Obviously, not racing, but commentating. As you were. Tonight we take the streets around Montreal in Canada, located in Quebec. So for your French-speaking folk out there, this should be almost a home race for you. I'm looking at you, DeWill, but I am excited, really excited for tonight. It is my first time commentating Tier 1, so I'm not up to speed with everything. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really excited, and I'm just gonna give them this heads up that they can ready up. As we're just waiting on something or someone, as confirmed by Nathan JV, owner. Ah yes, we are waiting on one more. So, I think it's best if we run down the classification of the last race. So, taking your win last race was Relentless Welter, coming in with the full 30 points, with the fastest lap going to Resify. Second would be TF Rudy in the AlphaTauri on 24 points that he took last time out. Isaac Kush in third. Relentless Ferg in fourth. Cyril AJ Wuhan in 5th, 6th Peas, 7th Evans, 8th Euron, 9th Jonathan, and 10th DeWill. Supermug 11th and Panda in 12th. And those are your results from last race. Your non-point scorers and DNFers are Ispyro, Relentless Knight, Resify, Boompier, Leo ZRN, Mark, and Eero Ken, who has the username of my password, so, well, I'm just gonna have to deal with that. So we have 20 men in the grid, in the lobby now, so it's just a matter of time till we get underway. We are still waiting on Indigo, who's updating his game. As the men now are readying up, 9 people readied up. Need one more to start the timer, of course. Very excited for tonight. As 5 people already tuned in to Serial Tier 1, probably the Tier 1 drivers. Good luck and, you know, keep it clean out there. Please don't crash into the wall of champions. Canada, home to many iconic races and qualifyings. Races include the 2011 Canadian Grand Prix, where it took a grand total of 4 hours to finish. I remember watching it live as a kid. Jenson Button ultimately taking the win from last and taking out his teammate to iconic laps, such as most recently Fernando Alonso's second place miracle in Montreal this year. Will we see any spectacular qualifyings? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see, as we are waiting up for the drivers now to pick their tyre selection, although we all know that's only one selection, but we don't talk about that. as we have many people popping in and out in the stream. Very interesting to see. And we are in, lads and ladies. And here is our pit wall overlooking the F1 paddock down the main straight too. You'll see all the garages there in eyesight, bar the Mercedes ones, as we wait for these drivers to get out on track and set their fastest lap times. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with the format, it is a short qualifying with a 50% race. And they've changed it to this format this season to shorten the time. As I see, there is a Alfa Romeo going out first, so we'll spectate the Alfa Romeo. As I suspect it may be your own. As I've been informed, he's not taking part in the quali now, so it's very. Oh no, it is Super Mug. Yeah, your own is not qualifying. So, although before the race he was reportedly complaining about track shadows and being there in quali and not in the race, even though he's not qualifying. So it's very interesting to see drivers complain. But I digress, as we're looking with Supermug. This driver fairly new to CRL too. Got parked in the CRL Cone Cup, I believe, at the end of last game. So it is going to be very interesting to see how Supermug fares up against these drivers. As far as I'm aware, he's had a start that could be more, shall we say. But he'll be the first one to set a lap now. I'll ride on board with Supermug now as he crosses the left chicane. Wall of Champions just grazing it ever so slightly as Supermug begins his lap. All about that one lap pace now. It is only the start of qualifying, so we'll see faster times, but this should be the expected benchmarker that Supermug will put. As Supermug now crosses the right-left chicane, first of many on this track. As he sets this 19.4 split. Brilliant split from him, but it's already beaten by some cars behind. As Supermug opens his DRS in the fairly short straight. Again, another right-left chicane. Getting close to the wall and hugging it tight with the curb. As we approach the slowest section of this circuit now, the hairpin, onto a very long straight as we see Jeroen, his teammate, perhaps maybe giving him a tow. No, I doubt it. No, they are giving each other a tow somewhat. As Jeroen is racing his teammate, which will definitely scare his teammate, Supermug. As Supermug now crosses the wall of champions now. What will he set? He'll set a 110.2. Decent banker. I heard is really fast. As Reservoir is next on the list now to set a time. Reservoir, he'll set an invalid time. So, yeah, it won't be valid at all. Pyro, again, valid. So, but pad drivers coming up tonight, not setting a valid time. Now, Cyril AJ Wuhan, what will he set? He'll set a 110.9. 7/10 off Supermug, the pole sitter at the moment. As I see a AlphaTauri coming through, invalid. I think Evans, he's on a lap. Yes, Evans, he's about to set a lap. IRTT Griff with 11.5. And Josh Evans, he'll set a 10.6. So 4/10 off Supermug. Supermug looking strong off the start. As Eero Ken is set 10.9. And Leo with 11.4. Don't forget about Relentless Night with an 11.5. 400ths down on his team, on the Red Bull ahead. So, decent start so far as Resify again invalidates his time. Same with Strauss. As we're looking at Pyro now. Pyro, very fast pad driver, but can he keep it straight through the wall of champions? Yes, he can. And Pyro, DRS wide open with just about ERS, enough ERS to break it through. He'll set a 10.5, a very solid lap from the pad driver himself. I think Wouter, yes, he's set a fastest sector 1 now. Wouter, he'll be one to watch, although he is also on the pad. So we'll have to wait and see as he gets to the final stages of this of his lap. Crossing the right-left chicane again, as there's a car in his way. An Aston Martin that has crashed out. It is the Aston Martin of the Frenchman Duil. So very unfortunate for the Frenchman. Who didn't set a lap even, so. Now Router, DRS wide open at 320 kilometers an hour. Crosses the wall of champions now, cutting it close with it. Router, he'll set pole position with a 10.1. Amazing lap from Router. Will it be beaten by anyone else? Nathan with the fastest sector 1. Obviously the head admin of this league, same with AJ Wuhan. Showing incredible pace. I've engineered him a few times, and yeah, he has a lot of pace, not a lot of consistency. I'll definitely be investigated for that. Anyways, DRS wide open at 300 kilometers an hour, even in Topher. 300 kilometers an hour. Brakes hard at the 50-meter board. Gets through the wall of champions, cutting it close again. As he's cutting track distance. Oh, and Nathan gets second place. Just 200ths. Hundredths down on Wouter. So very, very close at the moment. As expected from such a formidable grid. Is anyone else on a lap? I think Super Mug, he's gonna go on another lap, I think, unless he's gonna let those cars through. Yeah, Super Mug, I'll be on another lap. So provisional pole sitter at the very start, down to third. Once again, he starts his lap through the very slow first set of corners, and then putting it in third gears to get all the acceleration. Has a bit of a wheel spin, a bit of a tank slapper. As he's 3/10 down on his times, so is it worth continuing if you're Super Mug? But it looks like he's still continuing just for the sake of continuing. No, he's not. He's turned off his ERS, so won't be setting another lap. Evans Joshua though, Josh Evans, he's going to be setting his lap 2/10 up on his first sector. Brilliant stuff to see. I already put him in P4 if it was minus from his time. Anyways, Evans Joshua braking hard for the right-left chicane, second of the lap. As you notice now, there's a lot of right-left chicanes in this track. Now that I think about it, purple sector 2, 3/10 up on this sector. Not enough to get pole, however. Josh Evans with a really nice exit now. DRS wide open. As we're crossing the back straight now. And into the wall of champions we go. He just invalidates. And that is his lap over for now. But it won't be his session over yet. Relentless Knight will stay on board with him. Knight going into the hairpin now. The Mercedes driver pulling it in low gears to try and find whatever traction is available to him. DRS again wide open as Indigo joins the session. Let's go. Indigo joins the session. Our usual commentator.
I was here the whole time, just listening to you and listening to those people on that lap. But yeah, I was watching Josh's lap as you were commentating, and it was a lovely lap, but it all unfolded in the final 2 corners, unfortunately. That is so frustrating knowing that you pieced a lap together and it all unfolds in the final 2 corners. That is just a lot of driving experience. That he won't be the first nor the last, so hopefully he can find that lap time without taking too much risk in those final 2 corners.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all about commitment throughout the last two corners, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely, and you don't want to hesitate in there either. It's just so difficult to find the right line. You want to take a lot of curb in the last two corners, but obviously not too much, or hit the wall of champions. There's plenty of proof of that. I was aboard with the Ferrari. I don't know who that is. I think it was Walter, and he just invalidated his lap through turn 8 and turn 9 as I just joined the session there. It's five tenths down anyway, so I don't think he was on a push lap.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's very easy to invalidate in this track. I love that the track when you're selecting it says easy track difficulty, and then when you get onto it, it's hell. It's hell with track limits.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, do you want to take away any of the laps? Like just commentate over it?
I think I'm on board. Yeah, we're Nathan now. As the exit turn 2, turn 3. I think that's turn 4 we're coming up to now. Headed into the first part, which fast right-handed, left-handed. Very nicely taking all the curve through there, flat out through this part. Heading into this next section, turn 6, 2 tenths up already, and that's a decent first sector. Can he keep it up though? We're only in the first sector, and it's very easy to lose the car through here on traction as he managed to not lose the rear end. As we make our way onto the bridge now through turn 8, turn 9, taking a lot of curve for this, and on the exit as well. Kissing the ball, he took a lot of curve on the exit there. Now coming towards the end of this middle sector, 2 tenths up again, making our way into the hairpin now. Very easy to lock up, as you can hear the front light locking up. A little bit slow on the exit there, but nevertheless broke traction as now we make our way into the last part of the straight, second DRS zone. Now we're coming up towards the back straight, coming into the final two corners. Let's see where it breaks. For the 50-metre ball, taking a lot of curve, and that is very nice and committed through there. Without invalidating it, all hitting the World Champions now, making his way towards the line. He's going to be the first man in the nines. It's 9.8, and he's 3 tenths clear of his nearest rival in second place, who's currently on an out lap. So that's a fantastic lap time from Nathan there, and that was the lap he demonstrated what to do with those final two corners. And I wonder if anybody can take pole position away from him.
I'm staying on board with Supermug now, and Supermug now, he's on the back straight, about to finish his lap as there's a weaving Williams in his way. So the Williams, he's better watch out as Supermug, okay, comes into pits. So I think the Williams compromised his lap.
Yeah, I don't know who that Willie was going down the back straight, but yeah, we'll be pits for a little bit of a tow. And looking at the timers, we've got Dubois, Javoon, and Ruff the next day. QRT Leroy has just run out of fuel, but he's also followed his lap time as well. So let's see if anybody out there is able to stop. As you can see, plenty of drivers making mistakes. You can see the gaps are bigger than usual, as you expect a track like this, where it's so demanding and there's no room for error either. Josh was on a lap, if you want to go on board with him. And he used a lot of exit there through turn 8, even kissed the barriers on his way out. And I think Felipe Massa did that back in 2011 as we make our way to turn 8 and turn 9, used a lot of exit curve. He also does the same thing here as well. He gets close to the barriers as possibly can. I was watching him on his previous lap, and it's going to be a 41.5, perfectly set to 5 tenths up, and this could be a very decent lap. Can he get himself within Nathan's range? And now we're making our way out that chicane, hairpin, sorry, now gets a decent exit. DRS enabled for the Williams driver. This is where he made a mistake in the last two corners, but can he rectify that now with a perfect exit? As we make our way now towards the final two corners. Let's see how he breaks, taking a lot of curb, and he doesn't brush the barriers either, and now makes his way towards the line. Is it going to be pole or is it going to be close? It's a 10.0, wow.
2 tenths off their pole sitter, and he did graze the wall of champions, I did notice. Not sure if it lost him any time as he spun! Oh dear! That's not what you want to do after setting a hot lap.
Yeah, I can't imagine him going for a second lap, especially around here, because the tyres are up there at their absolute best in terms of tyre temperature, very hot. So I don't know why he was pushing, but Valtteri Bottas did that back in 2019 when he spun on his last attempt. But Joshua's got enough tyre to come back into pit lane and stick on a brand new set of softs.
Yeah. Will there be enough time for him? I mean, yes, there's wing damage, but
oh yeah, I think so. I'm like, oh, that's quite close. He just needs to make it back in the pit lane as quick as he can on this end lap.
Yes, he has to. I think, yeah, he'll definitely make it and have another chance to go at pole. Very, very impressed with Nathan's time, actually. It was actually really mesmerizing watching his lap time. How he took the final two corners. That was something.
I'm sure as pad drivers we cannot do the same as Nathan there, but it's ever so difficult. I mean, it's just so frustrating those two final corners because you know you've got a good lap in, but you start to hesitate, start to get build more pressure up, and therefore make mistakes in those final two corners because you know it's so important as a good lap can be undone by the final two corners.
Yes, I'm sticking on board with Supermug. 3 minutes to go in the session. He was our first person to set a lap. He did set a 10.2. That is his banker. So it is bound to improve as he's already a tenth up on his time. So already showing improvements as the track evolution kicks in. DRS wide open for the second straight now. As we approach the right-left chicane. Once again, how will he take it? Cuts a little bit of the chicane, getting close to the wall, hugging it tight. As we approach the hairpin now. Lost a lot of time throughout the second sector. He's only up 7 thousandths, I think. As he approaches the back straight now, there won't be any weaving Williams to offset his time or his concentration. But once again, braking at the 50-meter board, turning in just a bit earlier or later, gets close to the barriers, and he'll set a 10.0.
Wow, 1100s quicker than Joshua, who's currently on his out lap. So that was a good lap from Super Bowl. Like you said, he did lose a bit of time. Where could he improve? I think it was like turn 9, and the exit at turn 6. He used all the exits he could have. So, yeah, there's a bit more time for Super Bowl, but I don't think he's got enough time left to actually get another lap in. I don't think we're going to do a second lap on these tyres either. So, that's it for him. He's going to sit on the sidelines and just watch the remaining rest as Nathan then sets off on his final lap time. He didn't get the best of exits coming out of turn number 3. Going into turn number 4 and turn 5 now. You can see the rear end is a bit loose there going into that corner, but still makes it stick as now we make our way through the end of the first sector. 100's down in that middle sector. Let's see how it takes these corners. Very nicely, no signs of the back end stepping out as now we're making our way on this second DRS straight. Yes, there is a DRS straight there, I forgot about that one. Going into turn 8 and turn 9. Let's see how it takes this. Very nicely indeed, using all the exit as he possibly could get away with. Now coming towards the hairpin. It's one tenth up in this middle sector, so he's got a bit of traffic to negotiate his way around, but thankfully the Ferrari pulls out the way. We've got a car ahead of us, that is a AlphaTauri. He'll pull to the left hand side to get out Nathan's way or possibly give him a better tow. That is, I don't know who that is, it doesn't show the names, but we're on the straight now, coming towards the final two corners. Let's see how aggressively Nathan will take this. And let's see they're going into his final two corners. Very nicely there, using all the exit curb. Is this going to be a 9.6? And it is.
It is. Wow, what a lap time. What a lap time. Josh Evans invalidated his lap, so we won't see an improvement from him.
Got Walter out there on a lap time in the first set. He's up by 300s. Like QRT Leroy has retired from the session. We'll start P11. A few hundreds down for P10 of AJ. Expect AJ to do well around here, especially on the wheel. Depends on his patch he's put in. But on ball Walter turn 8, turn 9. Decent exit for him there. How much time has he found in this middle sector? It is 600s. Will that make a difference? He needs to find a bit more than that if he wants to take P2 and P3 away, who are so close between the two, barely separated by 100s. Superbook and Evans Joshua. Evans Joshua, like you said, has evaluated that lap time. Shame to see, could he have been in the 9s as well? Bit of a toe there from the Alpine. Giving towards Walter as he makes his way towards the final two corners. He's going to snatch. Oh, I thought that'd be a bit too much there, the validation, but he got away with it. But no, Walter now makes his way towards the line. What's he going to be?
This is 10.0.
Did improve, but not up positions, did Walter.
Just look how close Josh Evans is to Walter in terms of gap. That is so close.
I try like this as well. It's tantalising close between those three. Superbook from Walter. We've got AJ next across the line. It's going to be P5. Good job from Nathan, AJ there.
Yes, it's a Ferrari 4.5 around Canada, so very good for the Ferrari men. And I believe that's our session done.
Wow, what a qualifier session that one. Congratulations towards Nathan. I think that's his second pole now. He did take one in Spain, and now it's his second pole position of the season, so he's on good form. Can he translate this into a win? Because the only two drivers that have won this season is TF Rudy. I don't think he's here today, is he?
No, he is not.
And Walter, the man who starts at P4. So can Nathan then become the third driver to win a race this season?
Well, Yeah, I'm guessing it'd be nice to see some variety, but we know about Wouter's consistency and how dominating on race day he couldn't be.
That is true, dude.
I have my money on Josh Evans as an underdog. If I'm being honest, he's very underrated. I feel.
We'll see. It's nice to see Joshua up there in P3. Let's see what he could do around this track, and interesting to see what Superbook could do as well. I know he's got some pace. He just hasn't able to deliver it this season because he's had a few mistakes here and there. But I wonder what he could do against Nathan and Joshua, especially starting at P2 as well. And if you get a good start from P2, you can go around the outside of your rival and take the inside line for the next corner. As you've seen, plenty of drivers have done that in the past as well in the actual racing events. So I wonder if we'll do that tactic. But yeah, what will Nathan do off the line? He needs a really good start, try and cover the outside line, hopefully take the outside line into turn number 2. But can third place get a good start? We saw Sebastian Vettel back in 2016 get ahead of both Mercedes in before the first corner as he started third place. And he led the race, but it ended up Lewis Hamilton who won the race.
Yeah. It's all about the start, really. Your real overtaking spot would probably be turn 1, turn 5 and 6, and the hairpin. So, not a lot of places to overtake here.
Yeah, that's why qualified is very important. Luckily, it's a sunny day as well. If it was raining, plenty of drivers will be struggling to overtake around here. And the safety cars are quite common as well, so strategy will come into play. I have no idea what the strategy is around the kind of days. It's still hard to mediums, as I suspect every race.
Yeah, I'm looking at the race director here, and yeah, hard mediums. Everyone's starting on the hards by Supermug, Crossley. Yeah, Supermug and Crossley.
If Supermug is on the medium compound tyres, he definitely needs a good launch away so he can pull away from the hard-runners once he makes his pit stops onto the hard compound tyres. The ultimate strategy there for Supermug. So it's pivotal to him to have a good start as the formation lap is underway.
Yeah, and the lap before everyone starts fighting for his position. I think it would be a great time to run down our championship leaders, our top 3 tonight. As I'll take a look at the standings here. Yep, Wouter leads the championship standings, and TF Rudy follows behind closely, 16 points. And your next closest rival to Rudy would be Pease, sitting at 86 points. So a huge deficit already from second to third. Fourth would be Nathan JB, fifth your own, sixth Leo, seventh AJ Wuhan, eighth Isaac Kush, ninth Relentless Evans, 10th Cyril DeWill. Will I read down to 15th and we'll call it that? I will. Fergan 11th, 12th in RTT Griff, 13th Rezify, 14th Knight, and 15th Boompier. So, only driver to yet to score a point would be Pyro.
Pyro, unlucky this season. I know he's shown some pace there and here, but it's just inconsistent, like you said at the start. And Rudy did bring down the points between himself and Walter in the Italian Grand Prix, but his absence here tonight means Walter will extend that championship lead, and Rudy have to work harder next time. I hope he does race again. But all the drivers then are lining up on the grid. I wonder how hard Nathan will fight Supermug. Is he looking to play the long game? Is he gonna? Oh, Nathan's doing disqualified. Our position there. But is he going to fight hard against Supermug, try and keep Joshua and the co behind him, or is he gonna let him go and not pull too much of a gap, but try and? We've got plenty of drivers get disqualified here as they start line up on the grid, and I'll take you through it.
Yep, definitely. I think you're the only man that could take us through it now.
Yeah, so 5 drivers that have been disqualified. I don't think it will affect their tyres too much if they line on the grid. But here are the lights said. And round 6 is going to be underway. The Canadian Grand Prix is underway, and looks like the top two got an even stop. But Superbug there gets bogged down, and he's dropped into P3. And Nathan takes the lead of the Grand Prix, but Superbug is back up into P2 now with Walter alongside Joshua. They're going side by side, coming out of turn 3. You can see that the back end stepping out for Joshua as they continue their fight, going down into turn 4. Which one will yield? As Joshua then sneaks up into P3, then having the inside line, and keeps ahead of Walter then as we make our way down into the first sector. But
and there's collision. There's collision at the back. Yep. Just caught that at the very corner of my eye. Sorry to interrupt you, but the top 4 not making up any positions, staying as is right now. Supermug only 2 tenths behind Cyril and Nathan JB. I'm surprised he didn't get him off the start.
Yeah, me too. The first phase looked good, but the second phase did. Walter and Reservoir goes side by side in the hairpin. I just noticed that Reservoir got a better exit in turn 7. I wonder if Walter made a mistake there in terms of traction, but Walter then with the outside line gets a better launch. But Reservoir is in the slipstream there. Would he use the ERS, try and go past him? No, we won't. He'll just let him go, as he don't want to waste too much time fighting here on the early stages of this race. Just want to settle to rhythm and follow the cars then. So like you said, Superwalk, I'm surprised he didn't get the best start off the line. It turns out Nathan did, and he was able to get the lead of this race. So advantage towards Nathan. Superbug has to overtake Nathan as quickly as he can on these medium compound tyres.
Yeah, definitely. The wear will kick in hard if I recall correctly, as Resify, he's stuck behind Welter, and I'm surprised Resify isn't making up any positions any sooner, considering he is on the wheel. As we know, the wheel here is a huge advantage to have. The amount of rotation you can take through to some corners. Sorry.
I said I was agreeing with you there, but I did notice a collision between Liam and Walter, Javoon, sorry. It was down at turn number 2 and 3. They came side by side, and I think Cross Liam got pinched a bit on the apex and made contact with Javoon. I think they both escaped free with damage, but as you can see there, Cross Liam is under pressure by the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri as the Red Bull goes down the inside of the AlphaTauri, moves himself up to P14. Strauss is overtaking Bonpier for P17. In fact, Bonpier is coming back around the outside with the ERS, and Strauss then all over the back of him with the medium compound tyres as Renz and Javoon have a scrap down at P11 there, the final 2 corners, and Renz got past Javoon, but here comes Javoon with the ERS then. Bonpier has fallen down as P18. Javoon has got passed down into turn number 1. Will Renz find this around the outside? Yes, he will try to, but Javoon shuts that door firmly and doesn't allow Renz to come back down the inside. And he goes off the track as well for good measure.
So you're in already eager to make up positions, but how eager will he be? There is a fine line between eager and dangerous. Next on this list would be QRT Leroy.
It is indeed. Started P18, did you? So that's a very good start for him. Did he have a qualifying ban? Is that why he started down in P18?
Yes, that is why he started down in P18. He did have a quali ban from last race. I am unsure of as of why. I think he blocked another driver last race. However, it doesn't seem to have affected him, as he's already made up 8 positions even from lap 1.
Look at Superbug then. He's going to make a move on Nathan. We've got to Griff there. I think he's spun. I don't know where, but Superbug then has gone down the inside on Nathan. Is he able to make the chicane? I think he might have cut it just a bit, but he's up into the lead nevertheless. But the power of the DRS on this straight, there's only one detection point after the hairpin. That's why Superbug has got DRS, if you wonder why Nathan hasn't got it. So Superbug then takes the lead in this race. His job now is to pull away as much as he can from Nathan while he's on the medium compound tyres. However, Joshua behind in P3 is not able to close the gap between himself and Nathan, so the gap is 1.6 then. Bonpier then is the first man to pick up a penalty in this race.
Yeah, and Wouter, surprisingly enough, he's sticking with Josh Evans, so he's hungry to at least keep a podium or have a podium, and it's in his sights at the moment. As I'm gonna stick on board with your own. He's very close to QRT Leroy. I assume, knowing your own, he'll probably send it down the inside of Leroy into the hairpin. Will Leroy fight this? Yes, he will slightly, as they break side by side now into the hairpin. Your own ahead firmly, and that's 10th place for your own.
Nice move there from Giroud. You don't see many overtakes happening there, but he's been able to do it, and he has got DRS then. He's not got a lot of ERS at his disposal, so he might want to save that along the way. Well, there's a chance to find these cars, but from P18 to P10 then, as Superbug sets the fastest lap of this race, trying to pull a gap between himself and Nathan. And they are, however, pulling away from Joshua. Joshua then is caused the DRS tray from P3 all the way down to P9, sorry, with P10 following along with Giroud as it's very close then, and Ken then all over the back of the Williams of Leo, as Walter then picks up a 3-second time penalty, the championship leader.
The second, oh, there's a huge contact! Huge contact in the midfield as spinning Leo. He collides with Pyro, I believe. Oh my god!
I was aboard with Giroud Vizza, and all of a sudden, I hit the back of another car. That was so sudden. I didn't understand what was happening there, but they're all I don't know what's going on in this midfield there, because they're picking up penalties for ignoring yellow flags, so there's a bit of confusion as the safety car is definitely deployed, but what on earth happened there? I have no idea. I just saw 3 cars spinning.
I think the Williams, he was continuing on as he should, and I think it was Pyro who spun coming out of turn 5. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate for Pyro, but that's how it is sometimes, and Ken being the unfortunate loser of all of this, really. He DNFs.
Wow, what a massive shame there. I think I was actually on board with Ken, and now he's disappeared down into P20, but retired. But yeah, plenty of drivers in the pit lane with front wing damage. I think, did Giroud escape from that? I'm not quite sure. It looks like he's in the pit lane. He's on the medium, so that's why he pitted, and he's back out there in the race. And Walter's pitted on the medium compound tyres. That's definitely a 2-stroke strategy there for Walter. Well, let's go medium, hard, medium.
Yeah,
I mean hard, medium, hard. Sorry.
Definitely interesting strategies coming out to play right now. All the hard runners will be thinking to themselves, now how can I extend this even further and bring the mediums and keep the mediums still going at a very good pace when I get onto my second stop. When do I stop, you know?
Right, so Superbook has adjusted his state out there. He hasn't decided to pit and give up track position. He'll fall all the way down to P12 if he did, as the others behind him did pit. But yeah, it's a difficult situation for Superbook, because he would have loved the safety car to come out later than lap 6, probably about lap 13, 14 to make his strategy work, but fortunately for him, it came out later. So his lead he had at the start has been reduced down, and it's going to bring the pack close together once again. We've got a few drivers on the sauce, which is Renz, Strauss, Bumpier, and Watsy down in P18. And Giroud on new mediums, Walter on new hard mediums as well. And they don't pit, so I thought they were going to do the hard, medium, hard strategy, but they don't, as one driver has died in the pit lane. That's Ruff the next day, who's on the hard compound tyres, 5 lap old hards, so I wonder if he's going to put on the medium compound tyres or go for the softs for a short stint. They go on the mediums. Let's have a look. No, it's the medium compound tyres, so and a change of foot wings, so that's why he's pitted again.
Yep, interesting enough, Ren, Strauss, Bumpier, and Watsy, all on the soft tyres, so we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Maybe they go back onto the mediums?
Yeah, they're going to have to, but that's probably why they've done it, because obviously got nothing to lose down there, and they've gone on the soft compound tyres and hopefully going on the mediums just that later on.
Yeah. You really don't have nothing to lose if you're down the back. So yeah, going to be very interesting if any of them gains from it, and they'll have superb pace coming out the restart.
Have you been told about the weather? Because I could see some clouds gathering, and that's probably why people are going on the sauce, maybe.
Well, we better hope there's no rain, as a wise Scotty just told me in the comments. It spoilt a good race in Tier 2, so hopefully there's no rain. I'm hoping there's no rain. We'll have to wait and see. But it'll also bring out the rain merchants of this tier. And you and I, we know best, as Nathan gets a huge tank of oversteer. Tank slapper. Almost sends it into the barrier. But as I was saying, you and I know best. We're both rain merchants back in our day.
Oh yeah, I love the rain, and now I'm retired. I don't really, yeah.
Good times they were, good times. But we focus now on current times, as the wheel drivers are now superior to us in every way, shape, and form. Nothing to really talk about here under the safety car. Actually, let's talk about in real life race in Monza. Jamie,
Ooh.
how did you feel about that race?
Well, first off, talk about Nick de Vries. He did a fantastic job in that Williams. Jumped in at the very last minute. Had no idea he was going to drive this weekend. Obviously, don't know how the real Williams. He does know a little bit about the Williams, which is the FP1 session back at Barcelona, but obviously not enough to complete a full race. And he just did a fantastic job. Safety car's coming in this lap, but yeah, he did a fantastic job. I'm very happy for him to be able to get his first Formula 1 race. He's supposed to be racing for Williams back in 2019, but obviously Latifi took his seat due to the financial backing that he has. And yeah, de Vries in his first race really proved what he can do and might be a candidate probably later on in the future. So hopefully that does happen. But the safety car does disappear at the end of this lap as it heads back into pit lane. A super mode then will take the safety car restart. He did not pit under the safety car, but what it has done is extended his stint on those medium compound tyres then, and let's see how it'll play out for him as he's able to take the lead of the race then at the end of the safety car, doesn't pit and doesn't lose that track position, and he'll choose when to go. And Nathan will be paying very close attention.
Ooh.
And off we go then. You can see a bit of a tank slapper there for Supermug as Nathan gets a decent restart then in the back of Supermug, the Dutchman. And anybody making moves into turn number one. We've got the Ferrari looking down the inside. We've got the Aston Martin around the outside. Has the inside line now that is doable on Cross Liam. Has got to move. Cross Liam should have better exit on the outside. And
yes,
Leroy there has a massive problem with wheel spin coming out of turn 3. He's going down the inside as Liam, but Leroy has the inside for this next corner there. And Walter gets past Pyro for P9. You can see there. Walter going two cars.
Very audacious move, and he makes it! Walter makes it, so that's two cars in one corner. An audacious move, but he's going to lose it all again as he's being swarmed by multiple drivers.
It's going to be a crash here. It's going to be a crash here. There's so many cars, there's so many places here. Look at that.
Oh, and Lee spins!
Pyro spins as well. No, yeah, it's Leah actually. I thought it was the other LP, but Pyro is in 6th place there. Look at that. We've got further back. But before I go down the inside, he managed to make the corner. Does he get a good exit though on those medium compound tyres? That's why he's been so aggressive there on those mediums. He's able to have better grip than the rest of those on the hard compound tyres. Up into P6. So what fantastic moves there from Relentless Wildcard Championship leader. And is Pyro able to fight back on him? No, he can't. He stays behind him for this next part of the track, and yeah, that was all chaos down there. I think a Mercedes went off the track. That was Cross Liam at turn number 8, I believe, or 7, as Alfa Romeo of Giroux tried to go down the outside, down the inside, but he couldn't do that on that occasion and has to stay behind. The Pyro then doesn't get the best of exits.
Sorry, and Jeroen takes the position off Pyro as he goes deep into this corner, and sorry, I'm losing my...
2019.
yeah, I'm getting flashbacks, that's why I was speechless. But they're going side by side now, Jeroen and Pyro. Pyro down the inside, will banging just a little bit, showing the love between the two drivers. And Jeroen, he'll firmly have the position now, albeit very aggressive, as Pyro picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of moves going on in this first 2 laps of the safety car restart, so much to digest and talk about. But yeah, unfortunately what happened to Cross Liam there, he's down in P17 and Leroy as well as he spun. I can't remember where it was, but it's unfortunate for him as well. Cross Liam and Leroy actually fighting, and both of them were in the top 10. And what happened was, going 3 wide, but Walter, Liam and Pyro, unfortunately Liam just ran out of road and went off the track and went on the grass, and I'm not quite sure if he spun on his arrival back on the track. Probably he did, that's why he's down to P18. As we all know, Leroy down to P17 had a spin as well, and Wouter then taking advantage of 4 cars and moved himself up into P6 along with his Dutch compatriot of Jeroen Visser down in P7 as well. So both making gains in the safety car restart, especially Jeroen. Man started down in P18 and now he's in P7, so I wonder what he could do from there as he's cleared the traffic now.
Yep, he's got 2 seconds to catch up to Wouter on the fresh mediums, bear in mind. So everything's looking up to him, and he crashes! He's crashed! He's retired from the race! Jeroen Visser, he's retired from the race, and he brings out the safety car.
Superbug's got to pit for sure now. This is his chance to pit. He's got to pit, Superbug.
Oh my god, what's just happened? What's just happened?
Oh, I was the ball with Renz as he was about to make a move onto Griff, but that safety car just came out there. I dare say Renz would have got to Griff because he was right up his gearbox on those soft compound tyres, well, making use of them. But now, the second safety car has came out. Is Superbug going to box for hard compound tyres? No, he does not. Wow.
He's calling it very bold tonight, lads and ladies. Oh
Wow.
dear.
I don't know what he's doing. I think that was a good opportunity for him to pit there, but I don't. Is it going to rain? Because it looks like the clouds are gathering in intensively as well.
Yeah, it does look. It does look very, very cloudy indeed. Cyril Strauss, he's gone into the intermediates.
I've seen people do this before, but it hasn't worked out in the past. But if you go on the ints to it, you don't. I don't know. This could be a good call, but
Curti Leroy also onto the medium inters. So
well, that is interesting. If it rains heavily right now, they've got a big advantage as the rest have to come in, but it's not raining. It has to rain heavily this lap or next lap, otherwise it won't work for them. So yeah, I dare say the rain is coming.
So if I were these drivers now, I would drive as slowly as I legally can to try and prolong the safety car and let the rain come.
And this is why Supermark has a pitted then, and Wouter. That's why Wouter's got in the medium compound tyres, knowing the rain is coming, and others didn't want to pit because they've got a precious track position as Wouter took the risk. It's worked out so far with P6, but it's going to be super interesting.
Oh, definitely. It's just going to be those ones. When will the rain hit, and when will people start pitting?
If it hits right now and it gets very heavy right now, then Strauss and Leroy are taking the golden by the neck and made a very bold strategy call. But they're slowing down as much as possible, as you can see in the full map, trying to prolong the safety car, like you said. And if it works out for them, it's going to be a big treat as they'll get track position and possibly be in first place. We've got IT Bompia on the inters now, but oh yes, it's raining right now. Here we go.
Here we go, lads and ladies. Rain has hit, and if I were these drivers now, rush into the pits, hurry up the safety car. So, I'm also reading Topher's comment that Serial Tier 4 in Spain also did the same. It was also interchangeable conditions. I remember commentating that race. People going on to the inters early. So, yeah. I think Strauss is the biggest winner here.
Yeah, it's got to rain hard now. The rain has got to force a lot of people in the pit lane. I don't know. I've had this situation before, and for me, it was the opposite. I stayed out on the dries, others were on the inters, and it took a long time for the rain to really affect me on those dry tyres, and once it did affect, it was the last lap, and everybody was too far behind to catch up. And think you remember that race in a Hungary race?
Oh yeah, it was. Yes. It was in a different league. We were in championship rivals down to the bitter end.
Yeah, you remember that race. I stayed out on the dries, making a big gamble, and everyone was on the inters during the safety car, and I was able to pull a big gap because what the plan was to use the dry period and try and extend that gap over 25 seconds or whatever the gap was. And yeah, you remember that.
Oh my god!
Hit the pits.
Oh my god, Cyril, Nathan JV, and Supermug, do not pit! Everyone else in the pits! What is going on?
Look at Strauss catapulted up the order.
Strauss says he's scared to drive in Tier 1 because of all the fast lads.
Strauss could take the lead in this race. He could take the lead in this race.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cross Liam still stays out on the softs. What a madman! And he spins! No, it was it's the Haas driver. Sorry.
Well, the next day has spud on those hard compound tyres. Why did he not pit? He saw a whole bunch of cars go in the pit lane, and I wonder why he did not pit.
I'm wondering why Nathan didn't pit.
He's probably following what Superbug does. That's what Superbug doing, because I saw him edging towards the pit lane, and Superbug then, and Nathan, and Ruff the next day have cost themselves a lot of time and positions. They're going to fall down sitting back in the field, because as you can see, wrong strategy call, one lap too late. They're going to fall down from first all the way down to 16, 17. It's a safety cost in this lap to add to the pain. Oh no, they've
Will I take this one away? Or will you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can take it.
Right, so the slick runners, Supermug, Nathan JV, Ruff the next day, they'll be all wanting to go to the pit. Same with Aero Cross Liam. Everyone else though, they're set, ready to go, ready to restart. So I'm gonna spectate Cyril Strauss. He is technically our de facto safety car, as the two in front do pit. Strauss already, I think he's going to go for his restart. Yes, he is. Strauss already gets a brilliant exit. And he's already gapped Boompier 2 seconds. What an amazing restart. But there's chaos at the back as well, as there's a Haas overtaking a Mercedes. No, I did see that right. No, not many action going on so far.
Walter, look at... Oh, you make contact with the Red Bull there.
Yeah, T-Griff shutting the door tight. As there's a spinner in the form of Renz. Renz has retired. Will we bring out another safety car? I doubt it. Yeah.
And Walter and T-Griff are going side by side. Walter's the outside line. He's able to take P8 away. A bit of barging there from those two, but Walter eventually got his man and he moved himself up into P8. So, our brand new race leader, CRC Strauss, haven't said that for a long time, is up into P1.
What a strategy masterclass Strauss has pulled off, and now he can just kind of relax but also push a little bit with knowing that Evans, he'll need to pass Boompier as soon as possible. Boompier, he's not going to make it easy though. Them two are separated in less than 2/10 now. Them two, will they go side by side? No, they won't this straight. And
an unexpected story to tell. CRC Strauss winning a Grand Prix. You wouldn't expect that. He's a reserve driver too, isn't he?
Oh my god, what a dream that would be. As Evans Joshua has made the position on IRT Boompier, closing the door firmly. But watch out, because Resify, he's looking down the inside of Boompier, but Resify doesn't have enough traction to do so, and he'll have to remain in P4.
No, I wonder how Superbug and Nathan Cross Liam feel as well. Oh, Reservoir, massive tank slapper there. Gets out of shape because the rear end stop in there, but able to keep the car on the track. He's going to be under massive pressure from the guys behind, as they'll be all over the back. I would say that Leroy has had a bad exit going out of there, and Walter will be all over the back of his gearbox then, going down to this next corner, but he doesn't go down the inside of the room there. But Leroy goes wide, goes off the track, and is able to come back. And look at the gap. Joshua has brought the gap down towards Strauss, 6/10 already, so Strauss will be under massive pressure there from Joshua. And Pyro has overtaken Walter, going side by side, but Walter's got the position back on Pyro. Up into P7 he goes behind his Ferrari teammate. I wonder if AJ will let his teammate go, knowing that he's the championship leader, possibly a little bit quick as well for his pace. Resified and putting Bumpier under massive pressure. Bumpier had a bit of a difficult season this season, but has he got the pace to try and keep these guys behind, try and get some big points to the board here today? As Resified, they get a much better exit, using the ERS to his advantage, as Joshua is right on the back of Strauss. Going down the inside is Resified, up into P3 he goes. And now it could be a good fight to watch between Evans Joshua and CRC Strauss.
Yes, they're technically rookie versus the veteran here, as Strauss placing his AlphaTauri where it needs to be placed at the moment, making it as wide as possible. But Josh Evans, though, Bit of oversteer throughout some of the corners. Very unsettled his car looks like at the moment. But very cheering on Strauss. Strauss, they're going to go side by side now. And Strauss, he doesn't put up too much of a fight, knowing that he's a reserve. But it was good while it lasted, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy to see Strauss leading a race for first time in CRL, I dare say.
Yes,
and AJ's followed down the order.
Oh yes, he's had massive contact with the wall. He's lost his entire front wing.
It's a shame for him, but Pyro then's going side by side with Knight. And there we go then with the Alpine versus Mercedes, and Reservoir is all over the back of Strauss then, is able to take second place away. Pyro then stays in P7 with Knight, using the ERS to try to stay ahead, but Reservoir then all over the back. He's able to get a better exit than Strauss in the last two corners. Like Bonpierre, Reservoir takes that position in the same place that Tracky took Bonpierre on, and now he's up into P2 then. So Evans, and you said at the beginning of qualifying or middle of it that you bet your money on Joshua winning this race.
And looks like my bet is coming true so far, but commentator's curse exists, so we'll not count our stars just yet. Not a lot of action going on at the moment. It's kind of nullified. No, IRT Bumpier getting a hint of oversteer midway through the corner, and Wouter now making up all the positions that he can now. Up into 4th place he goes.
Bumpier is struggling. He's followed down to P5 now. Wouter has overtaken him down at turn number 7. So Strauss, Wouter, Bumpier pick up penalties. This boosts the chances of Joshua and Reservoir keeping their position. But Leroy,
oh dear, he's sorry.
I have no idea what happened. I think Leroy just lost traction. Griff was there to collect him, and obviously in the back of him lost his front wing, or part of his end plate has to Griff, and Leroy's fallen down as P14. And so plenty of drivers, they're struggling in this race.
Yeah, not an entire shocker here, because they are on dry setups in a difficult track as well, so no surprises there. Yeah, T-Griff surprisingly going into the pit too. So
I know Knight is very good around this track, and he's currently sat in P5, and the two ahead of him do have penalties as well. So is this Knight's big chance here of trying to score a podium? I wonder around the Canadian Grand Prix. Strauss versus Wouter, but we know Wouter's got the good pace when he's in clear air and not in the fight with anybody. So if he does get past Strauss, Wouter has to pull away as much as he can from Knight, so he doesn't fall down due to penalties. I think Knight, Reservoir, Joshua, Nathan down in P10 haven't got penalties, along with AJ down in P14 as well. So looking good for Knight, but if Wouter doesn't get past Strauss, it'll be even more difficult for him to try and extend that gap. So Knight just needs to keep it nice and consistent while he's in P5.
Ironically too, it is his own race, so I'd be very happy for him if he gets onto the podium, or in an unlikely case, probably a win.
Look at Wouter then, gets past Strauss with a better exit and better traction as well, and he moves himself up into P3 ahead of the Dutchman. So it was nice for Strauss while it lasted, but P4 is still a good result, and hopefully he can keep that, or he might fall down to P5 with the penalties he has at the moment, but still a good result. He's experienced leader of the race, and yeah, he's currently fighting with the big boys at the top, and nice to see him up there once again.
Yeah, it really is. As Nathan making moves now against Waitsy. It's a bit unfortunate for him because he did stay out, called the wrong strategy in the end. Same with Supermug now. And he's got to make up all the positions.
Know what it feels like to lead a race and lose it on the safety, because you don't know what to do actually, because if you're in positions like P6 and P7, you kind of just guess, look around what other people are doing and follow their lead. But if you're in P1 and P2, you just think too much and you don't know what to do. You don't exactly know what the right call is, and you think if you do this, it might be wrong. If you do that, it might be wrong. So yeah, those two took the pain and probably learned for it. But yeah, P9, the rest of the guys ahead do have penalties as well, so there's still good positions for Nathan to gain. And yeah, he hasn't got a penalty along with Duval.
Yeah, Duval also keeping it clean. Very quiet Duval has been during this race. Not much highlights from him. As yes, you're right. Actually, from 2nd to 7th, there's penalties. I'm not sure how much penalties now. I'll give it a check. Only Bumpier on 6 seconds time penalty in the top 7. So there goes. There's an indicator of where everyone stands. Ooh, Nathan getting very close to the rear end of DeWill.
Nathan, you can see there's 3 cars right ahead of him, all fighting for P7, so Nathan can be careful. If he does want to brake later, doesn't outbrake himself and take the McLaren out with him. But you can see the McLaren of Bobbier really struggling. He was up into P2, was Bobbier, but he's fallen down the order like a stone. And you can see there Nathan going down the inside. No, Dual brakes late enough to keep that Red Bull behind him. And Nathan then will be looking for a charge through, wanting revenge and redemption after losing out to the safety car, and he'll get a better exit than Duval, but they'll use the ERS to good perfection to try and stay ahead of each other. But Nathan takes that place away. He moves himself up into PA. So you can see he's got some good pace. Look at Bumpier going off the track there. Nathan there going exceeding track limits is the Red Bulls. We're very careful not to start again. He's moving left or right. I'm not quite sure why, but
probably just to say sorry or something. But he's close to gap on Bumpier now. He has a chance now to make up another position down this back straight. No DRS, of course. It is the rain, so it's all about on pure aero.
Could do it all by himself. As Nathan going to outbrake? No, he's not. He's too smart not to go down the inside of there because he knows he might make contact with the McLaren ahead of him. But does he get a better exit? He hasn't got a lot of ERS at his disposal, but he's going to pull alongside him. I will outbrake him into turn number 1. And does he get the move done? No, Bumpier's still there down the inside. You can see the Aston Martin with the Alfa Romeo as Bumpier then bumps wheels with Nathan. And I presume Nathan will get a better exit around the outside. Yes, he does. And he moved himself up into P7. The next target is Pyro, who is currently down to P6. Pyro's at P6. He hasn't got any points this season, but hopefully he could pick some up as he's all over the back of Strauss for P5.
Yeah, Strauss following positions. He's not fighting it too hard. I think he's just taking his time. And Pyro now moves up into P5. Again, no points. Will be very nice for him to make up some points.
It will be indeed, and yeah, currently sat in P5. Gap is 2.8 seconds between himself and Knight. Knight hasn't got the 3-second gap down, so his best result would be P4 unless Nathan can charge his way up to field very quickly. He's all over back of the AlphaTauri of Strauss. And you can see there, Strauss not put too much of a, like you said, just look at that, the straight line speed advantage there for Strauss and the ERS advantage, able to stay ahead of him. And Nathan will be more frustrated with that. But does Strauss keep it within the track limits? No, he can't, goes off the track slightly, doesn't get a good exit. And there goes Nathan, then goes to a Strauss mistake, outbroke himself, couldn't make the corner, and Nathan was able to take advantage of that. So Nathan then up into P6, next target is Pyro.
Don't forget about Sorry to cut you off. Don't forget about Supermug, who also qualified in second, right? Yeah, he qualified second. He's following Nathan JB, just picking off any car he can. As Tigriff retires in the pits. Okay, I got very excited there over a very menial DNF.
Yeah, Superbug is doing a good job, like I said. It's just that Nathan stealing all the spotlight there, and Strauss then did get a good exit. He's able to not keep IRT Bumpier. Has IRT Bumpier then finally found a rhythm? He's up into P8. He was about 3 seconds behind Strauss, but he's outbroke himself going into turn 8. Strauss going to come back on the inside. No, he's not. He's got the Aston Martin Dual right behind him. And you can see there Strauss struggling with wheel spin on the exit of turn number 9, and Dual's going to go up his inside, down into the hairpin. You can see double on the brakes there, makes contact with the Aston Martin. There goes Waltzy as well, taking 2 for 1. That's like Felipe Massa on Heikki Kovalainen, and I think it was Nelson Piquet as well back in 2008. But yeah, so Felipe Massa moved down the inside, taking 2 for 1 at the hairpin.
Very impressive indeed, and yes, reminding me of Nelson Piquet and Heikki Kovalainen.
Oh, it was Robert Kubica, I think it was. I think it was Robert Kubica and Heikki Kovalainen going side by side with Felipe Massa went down the inside of both of them. Nathan's got Pyro. I'm not quite sure if it was Robert Kubica. It was 2008. No, it wasn't. 7. I'm not quite sure who it was. I can't remember.
Anyways, it was one of those years as Nathan, yes, goes up to P5 as he's going to challenge the REL 1, 2, 3, 4. So very interesting that. Do you think Nathan is out of podium contention?
9.4 behind Wouter. I'm not quite sure now he's in. I'm not quite sure actually. Let's see if he's got the pace in clean air to take that. I think he's going to take Knight on. He's closing down on him rapidly, and Super Mug is following along as well. He's going to do side by side in the hairpin, and Pyro then doesn't outbreak himself. But Super Mug there trying to do a switch back on the inside to get a better exit retraction. No, he doesn't, and I don't think he'll have the ERS either to fight him down the straight. Yes, he will actually. He goes side by side with the Alpine. I think they're both low on ERS. Yes, they are. Pyro hasn't got any ERS whatsoever. Let's go side by side. You can see Superbug late on the brakes. Is he going to make the corner? Yes, he is. So, like Nathan, he's fighting. He's moving up the order with him, and Nathan then 1.3 right behind Knight. Once he gets up to P4, Nathan, I wonder, does he have the pace to bring that gap down? And actually, Wildtail's on the back of Reservoir as well, so be interested to see those two fight.
Yeah, Wouter making a brilliant pace on ground to Reservoir, so I doubt anything will happen at the moment. It is going to be remain to be seen, so to say.
And Knight making a mistake there, going wide into turn number 7. It's just allowing Nathan to get even closer and encourage him even further as well. And you can see, don't want to spend too much time right behind him because he knows that Wildcat and Reservoir are going to be in a fight soon. So he wants to get past Knight while Wildcat is still behind Reservoir, holding him up for track position. And now Nathan then, what's his best opportunity? Can't go down the inside here, he's too far back. Can he out-drag him? No, he can't because Knight has got the ERS unless he uses it to defend from Nathan. And here we go then, on the straight. Knight has got the ERS advantage, but Nathan gets a decent launch coming out of the hairpin there. Look at that going alongside Knight, and Knight doesn't use the ERS there to protect himself from Nathan, so that's a good move there from Nathan. Moves himself up to P4, so what a recovery drive from Nathan. Didn't lose his composure after that misjudgment at the second safety car, where he didn't pit for the intermediate. So a nice, calm, collected drive there from Nathan and Super Mug, it must be said, down in P6 there. He's 3.7 behind Knight, so further behind than he would have wanted, but still, I mean, he's making gains as well from the misjudgment call he made as well. But Nathan then, like you said, can he reduce that gap down to under 3 seconds with himself? And if it is, it's a podium, and I dare say that is a good recovery drive despite falling down the order to, P16?
Yep. Yeah, I think it was. He's already making decent ground on the guys. He's already cut down 3/10, but 3/10 is not enough yet. He's going to have to cut down even more, as he's already gone down to 8.4 seconds. So absolutely clawing on the gap now. Is that gap from Reservoir just? Is Reservoir holding Wouter up? Is the main question. Not sure and remains to be seen.
I'm not quite sure because he's not too far behind Joshua as well. He's only 1.2, 1.3 right behind him. So I think they just. Joshua has got nothing to risk here because he's got no penalties, and he's out there by himself. He doesn't have to risk it. He just needs a nice, clean drive from all the way here to lap 35. He doesn't need to risk it. He doesn't need to brake later or try and get the throttle earlier than others. He's got the track position. He knows it's hard to overtake around here. So Joshua doesn't need to risk anything. Just needs to make sure he doesn't pick himself up a penalty. Otherwise, I have to push away from those guys, and Nathan as well, because Nathan's a big risky. He's got a good pace in the dry and the wet as well. So he's the one to keep an eye on. I dare say Nathan will be a big threat if Joshua does get a penalty, able to take the win. Yeah,
he will be. But again, needs to watch out on track limits. I will say that Nathan's closing in hard and closing in fast, and Reservoir picks up a 3-second time penalty.
That's a 6 second, isn't it?
I believe so. Yes, it is a 6 second indeed. So making life easier for Mr. Booth here in the Red Bull.
If Nathan does find himself on the podium or the win, if Joshua does pick up penalties, I say if he does make himself up to second place, will he be frustrated or will he be happy? I'm not quite sure because he knows he could have won this race, but at the same time, he made the mistake and he managed to make his way up the field from P16 to P4, possibly taking a podium for sure with this pace. If he continues like this and doesn't pick himself up a penalty, that's the main thing as well for Nathan. He can't afford to pick up a penalty, otherwise it's probably done for. Look at Reservoir was all over the back of Joshua, so is Joshua struggling a little bit here? Or is he holding these guys up for Nathan? I'm not quite sure.
I am not sure, but if my best guess is, it's probably damage or lack of confidence. I would put it down to both. Maybe minor wing damage, but at the end of the day, it all adds up. Very interesting to see that Welter still hasn't made the move on Resify yet. Resify hanging on to dear life to second place, might I add. Track-wise at least, as I think now that Nathan's already closed up 3 seconds. So Nathan already showing his superior prowess with his pace.
And if the safety car does come out, benefit Nathan a lot, is able to reduce that gap all the way down. But I did see Resify as yet again has a massive snap over oversteer, and this is Walter's chance now to get past Resify. Yes, it is. So he spent a lot of laps behind him, and he's finally made his move. He's up into P2, so he's finally got past the Aston Martin. Bear in mind though, Resify though has done a fantastic job so far in this race to try and keep Walter behind. His Pyro has got that bump here for P7. But yeah, what a fantastic job from Resify, must be said, despite those penalties. But Walter now, he's right behind Joshua, and he knows, is he quicker than him? I dare say yes, and if he is, he needs to get past him as quick as he can and build that 3-second gap over Joshua.
Now, if I were Joshua, I'd be hanging on to dear life, trying to fight for position. After all, he's the one without penalties. He is the one to lose it all, pretty much. It'll be very interesting. Will Walter... Oh, wow! Will Walter take the lead, and will he gap Josh 3 seconds? I dare say yes, because he's got that pace. But Josh, he's known to put up a fight when it needs to, and I think it's already time for the wet compound of tires. What do you say?
It is getting heavier. I didn't even notice that, but yes, it is getting heavier. And I wonder, with these 6 laps to go, will these drivers pit? If they do pit, how much of a deficit will it make? Because I know drivers who stayed out there with the Inters and been rapidly closed down by the guys behind as well. So I wonder who will go for a pit stop there. And Walter is weaving on the straight. I'm not quite sure why. Probably to inform Josh he's right there. But I don't know if these guys are going to pit, because they're definitely going to lose a lot of time and track position. But in fact, the pit lane is very short around here, so you probably can get away with it. But would you risk it with 5 laps to go to make a pit stop on the wets?
No, it'd be very unwise too. But Nathan, he's made up so much time already. He's well, keeping it calm and composed, and dare I say, he's probably going to nab second place at this rate.
He is indeed, and if Joshua continues to struggle, meaning he slides through corners more and misses breaking points, he's likely to pick up penalty as well. So Joshua needs to keep it nice and clean now. Nathan is on a charge here. If he takes this race win, Nathan, it'll be a fantastic recovery guy, considering his circumstances of making the wrong call. He'll definitely be the driver of the day in my eyes. In fact, he might be the driver of the day right now, despite finishing from P3 or P2.
Yeah, it will be. I think my personal driver of the day already has been decided. And there's the front 3 in Nathan's sights. Here we go.
His pace has just been phenomenal from the dry to wet period. It hasn't let him phase him. That pit stop hasn't let us phase him. Because I know some drivers like myself would have been very angry and thought the race would be over, but it's not. And he's just kept it nice and calm, able to bring that gap down, making his overtakes in the right places while not getting caught up in that midfield mayhem where it's very easy to make contact with another driver in the midfield. He should desperately want to get past through those guys, and he's done that very calmly and cleanly as well. So he's on the verge of getting a podium or a win if Joshua can keep it nice and clean, because he's sliding through the corner. It's very, the back end just seems
unsettled.
Unsettled, unstable, so you just need to be careful with that. He keeps losing a lot of traction as well, so you can see there Joshua with the massive wheel spin as I went on board with him there, definitely struggling with it, and just needs to keep it nice and clean, make sure he doesn't pick up that 3-second penalty, because if he does, Nathan's right there to take him. Oh, look at that, massive tank slapper there as well from Joshua, again.
Yeah, wow, it's getting really close, isn't it? I want to see Nathan make some moves. His pace has been phenomenal. I want him to challenge for the win, you know, and that's just the inner driver and inner wet merchant inside me, just wanting for action. Oh!
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh, Nathan, he's got a tanker oversteer. Getting too confident on the exit.
I can't lose it now. Nathan's good work can't be undone now. He's got to keep it nice and clean. Maybe, I don't know how hard he's going to risk trying to fight Reservoir, because Reservoir is actually losing time towards himself and Walter now, so I think it's crucial for Nathan to get past him, because Reservoir is out the slipstream of those two, so it's 2.2 at the moment, and Nathan's currently 8 tenths away, so that makes it 2.9, so on the verge of second place. As you can see, Walter is getting super close towards Joshua, because constantly applying that pressure. Bearing in mind though, if Walter does force Joshua into an error, makes him pick up a penalty, they're on a level playing field here, possibly take away that potential P1 as well. Depends how hard Reservoir fights Nathan.
Just pay attention to how I'm looking at Wouter and Josh, and pay attention to how the car just kicks out, absolutely dancing with the throttle.
Look at this! Have you seen that?
Yeah, Reservoir's let Nathan through. So, lads and ladies, oh dear, don't spin it now, Nathan.
I'm not quite sure what Walter's thinking, because Walter and Reservoir both in Relentless. Yeah, I don't think Walter will be happy with that one, letting Nathan through.
Or maybe they're in party and communicating with each other. Anyways, I digress. I'll let the speculations pass. The lead is right in Nathan's sights. All he needs to do now is just keep it calm and keep it simple. No stupid moves. No stupid driving either.
Nathan's back where he should have been in P3, but under different circumstances after making a missed call, and look at it a bit. If you did make a mistake, look at Walter sneaking up the inside.
Them two are going to battle it on exit, and Wouter will have the inside line, Josh will have the outside, and Wouter, he'll win that battle, and it'll be firmly Wouter's position.
Let's see if Joshua is able to stick with Wouter, but if he's not, and if Nathan overtakes Joshua, then Nathan will be able to take the lead of this Grand Prix now. I think that's a good thing for Nathan, because he had a car between himself and Joshua, and now Joshua is right ahead of him. Because I know, I don't think Nathan... Oh, he's gone off the track, Joshua! And he doesn't pick up a penalty either, so very lucky there for Josh, but he's definitely struggling. As you can see there, losing a lot of time, and he's into the clutches of Nathan then, so Nathan's chances of winning are increasing, as long as he's able to take Joshua cleanly and stays under 3 seconds, because yeah, Joshua had a big advantage over Nathan because he had a car between himself and Nathan, meaning that he couldn't fight him as it make it harder for him in the slipstream of the three of them. But now Nathan's in his sights and clearly struggling for pace. Yeah,
the rain has died down now, so it's back to interconditions. So not a lot of standing water now. So
that's all. Oh, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting as we head into the second last lap.
If Nathan overtakes Joshua, Nathan will win this race due to Walter's penalties. But can Joshua defend? He knows he can still win this race as long as he doesn't allow that gap to build up to 3 seconds, as long as he doesn't pick up a penalty, as long as he don't make mistakes. Is Joshua got to keep it nice and clean now? There's 2 laps to go. Can he do it? Nathan then, he knows there's a chance of victory if he overtakes Joshua and is able to look at that. Joshua struggling there on the exit of turn number 8, just can't get the throttle on as quickly as he would have wanted, and has allowed Nathan to be even closer. So Josh is going to watch out for Nathan then. This is where he made a mistake last lap, keeps it nice and clean this lap, this time round. Nathan then ever so close. Nathan's got 2 more laps to try and make this move on Joshua. If he can't, Joshua will win this Grand Prix unless Walter can pick up some pace and get that gap over 3 seconds.
Oh, Joshua's gone deep. Oh, Nathan, he gets a tank of oversteer. He won't be able to make a move, but that's 2.3 seconds now to Wouter. Crucially, 7 tenths for Wouter to make up. And now, them two are going to go side by side, Evans and Nathan. Will they go side by side into the Wall of Champions? This day, will they make contact? Oh my god, what's happening?
Nathan's got himself ahead of Joshua. It looks like Joshua's pulling him all the way to the right. I'm not quite sure what Joshua's doing, because once they broke, it looks like he was forcing Nathan to the right, but the gap's over 3 seconds now. and Nathan has to bring this gap down now. He knows the win is in his hands, as Walter has got penalties, but is Walter able to find a lot of time in this last lap and trying to keep that race win?
Oh my god, it's dangerous, lads and ladies. We're oh my god, they've gifted Walter the win, I think.
Joshua, he was pulling towards the right once they made the braking zone, but can Nathan bring that gap down? I would love to see Nathan win this Grand Prix after the pain he's been through in this race. Redemption Drive has been fantastic. Superbook, however, still down in P5, is 11 seconds behind, but Nathan needs to find 3/10. Where can he find that time? You can see a snap of oversteer there for Nathan at the exit of turn number 9, so we make our way into the hairpin then. Where can he find the time between himself and Walter? That fight between himself and Joshua has cost him a lot of time. I dare say Nathan will be complaining with the right to do so as well. That's it for Nathan, I think. 3.5 seconds now is the gap between himself. It's been a fantastic drive from Nathan, but Walter's had a fantastic drive as well, building that gap over 3 seconds, and he makes his way then towards the last few corners, does Nathan. But here comes Walter then. He will win the Canadian Grand Prix, extend his championship lead with Nathan following in P2. Here comes Joshua in P3 with Reservoir following in P4. And Supermug will come across the line to finish in P5. Did have the pace to keep up there with Nathan, but soon he'll still finish in P5. He'll be very disappointed with himself as well after making that wrong call. It could have been Supermug versus Nathan for the win. And Nathan, the gap was half a second. The battles he had to go through as well. Nathan fighting in the midfield and having to keep the pace and not making mistakes in this race. He's just done a phenomenal job. I know we won't be happy. P2 is still a good drive for him, but he won't be happy, I dare say.
Can I just take a moment to congratulate Pyro on his first points? Congratulations and commiserations to you, mate. Duval comes in 8th and AJ Wuhan comes in 9th respectively. Boompier in 10th, 11th Cross Liam. As we're waiting for Waitsy now and Cyril Strauss and Curti Leroy to finish out the race. What a race it was. Drama on the last second last lap.
Yeah, I would love to see Nathan win a race because it's been a long time coming for him. He's taken pole position, he's been on the podium twice now, or 3 times in this season, and it will come very shortly. It will come, and today he's just proved what he could do, especially when he's been in these situations where he's been disadvantaged by his own strategy calls. He made his way through the field very calm and composed, and his driving was excellent in this race, the overtaking moves. It's just that last car in second place there with Joshua just cost him the win, I dare say. He lost a lot of time in that final corner. He had to go over the chicane, the last 2 corners. What could it have been?
Yeah, what could have been, really. And there we have it. Wouter celebrating in the very bright, vibrant Ferrari suits with the Red Bull and what other team was it? Williams.
Red Bull for that last
for the win. And yeah. Any last words, Jamie? Sorry.
What an expensive race. I wasn't expecting that whatsoever, but despite the wet conditions, it's still proven to be a fantastic race. And congratulations to the top 3, Joshua, Nathan, and Walter. Congratulations to Nathan, not pick up any penalties whatsoever. Reservoir done a fantastic job as well. Unlucky to Superbug there. Relentless Night in P6. Well, good result for the Canadian driver in his home Grand Prix. Superbug picks up that fastest lap on those medium compound tyres at the beginning of the race. Pyro picks up his first points. Duval from last to 8th, fantastic drive for him. Bonpierre P17 to P10 as well. So yeah, up and down race. The charts going up and down in this race.
Yeah. But I think we're going to wrap it here, folks. It's been myself, Liam Carrick, and Jamie Morris Indigo. If you enjoyed that race, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and we'll see you next week. Actually, no, it's a break week next week, so everyone enjoy your break. Say again?
It is, no, and I can go to bed early as well.
Yeah, so that's been ourselves. Have a good night. God bless.